Lyudmila Pavlichenko. The Soviets called her Lady Death. The Germans called her the Russian bitch from hell. At 25 years old, she became the deadliest female sniper in history. This is her story, and it's not what you expect. Lady Death. July 12, 1916. Biela Tserkva, Ukraine. Lyudmila Belova was born competitive. Not, I'll try my best, competitive. We're talking, I'll prove you wrong or die trying, competitive. She described herself as a tomboy who loved beating boys at everything. Sports, academics, you name it. At 14, she overheard a boy bragging about his shooting skills. That was it. That was all it took. That was enough to send me running to the range, she later wrote. She joined a shooting club, earned her sharpshooter badge, a serious marksman certificate, and she was good, like, scary good. At 16, she got married and had a son, Rostislav. The marriage didn't last, but Lyudmila didn't stop. She enrolled at Kiev University to study history, her childhood dream. But she couldn't stay away from shooting. During her second year, she joined a sniper school. 2 years of intensive training in firearms mechanics, ballistics, field tactics. By 1939, she graduated top of her class. She was 23 years old, studying to be a history teacher, raising a son, and moonlighting as an expert marksman. Then everything changed. June 22, 1941, Hitler invaded the Soviet Union. Lyudmila left university the next day and went straight to the recruitment office. Picture this. A 24-year-old woman walks into a military recruitment office demanding to join the infantry. The registrar looks at her like she's crazy. "Be a nurse," he says. Lyudmila's response? "No." He pushed harder. "Women should be nurses, not soldiers." She showed him her shooting certificates, her sniper school diploma, her marksmanship records. He finally gave in. She was accepted as a sniper, one of 2,000 female snipers the Red Army would recruit. Only 500 would survive the war. But there was a problem: no guns. The Soviet Army was so desperate for weapons that even trained snipers were handed grenades and sent to dig trenches. It was very frustrating, she wrote, to observe battle with just a single grenade in one's hand. Then, during a bombardment, a fellow soldier was hit by shrapnel. As he lay wounded, he handed Lyudmila his Soviet sniper weapon. She finally had her weapon. August 8, 1941, her first mission. A young soldier set up position next to her. They were scouting German positions near Bilyivka. Then crack. A German bullet took him out, right next to her. He was such a nice, happy boy, she later said, and he was killed just next to me. Lyudmila froze, paralyzed by fear. This was real. This was death. She raised her rifle, spotted 2 Romanian soldiers, Germany's allies, a quarter-mile away, adjusted for wind, controlled her breathing. 2 shots, 2 kills. Her war had begun. For the next 10 months, Lyudmila fought in 2 of the bloodiest sieges of the Eastern Front, Odessa and Sevastopol. She racked up kills methodically: scouts, officers, enemy snipers. By May 1942, she'd killed 257 Axis soldiers and was promoted to lieutenant. But Sevastopol was hell on earth. The city was surrounded, cut off. The Germans pounded it with artillery 24/7. Lyudmila spent 8 months in constant combat, crawling through rubble, setting up positions, waiting for targets. The most dangerous job? Counter-sniping, hunting enemy snipers who were hunting her. She eliminated 36 enemy snipers in duels that could last hours or even days. 2 expert marksmen stalking each other through bombed-out buildings. One mistake means death, and the Germans knew about her. They started broadcasting messages over loudspeakers. "Lyudmila Pavlichenko, come over to us. We will give you lots of chocolate and make you a German officer." Her response? Silence. "Keep killing." So they changed tactics. "If we catch you, we will tear you into 309 pieces and scatter them to the winds." Lyudmila was pleased. "They even knew my score," she said. "Think about that. The enemy is threatening to dismember you, and you're happy because they got your kill count right. That's Lady Death." June 1942. Sevastopol was falling. During an artillery barrage, Lyudmila was hit in the face by mortar shrapnel. It was her fourth wound of the war. This time, Soviet High Command said, "Enough. She was too valuable to lose." They evacuated her from Sevastopol by submarine, one of the last people to escape before the city fell. Her combat career was over, but her war was just beginning. Final tally: 309 confirmed kills, each one verified by a witness. That was just what they could prove. The Soviets gave her a new job, training other snipers and serving as a propagandist for the Red Army. And then they sent her on the most unusual mission of all. They sent her to America. September 1942. Washington, D.C., Lyudmila Pavlichenko became the first Soviet citizen ever received by a U.S. president. Franklin Roosevelt welcomed her to the White House. Her mission? Convince Americans to open a second front in Europe to take pressure off the Soviets who were bleeding out fighting Hitler. Eleanor Roosevelt, the First Lady, took an immediate liking to her and invited Lyudmila on a tour across America. But American journalists, they had questions. Can women wear lipstick at the front? Why do you wear a uniform that makes you look fat? Will you let us print your photo on cigarette boxes? Lyudmila had just spent 8 months in hell. She'd watched friends die. She'd killed 309 enemy soldiers. She had shrapnel scars on her face, and American reporters wanted to know about her makeup. At first, she was diplomatic. There is no rule against makeup, but who has time to think of her shiny nose when a battle is going on? But by the time they reached Chicago, she'd had enough. She stood before a massive crowd and delivered one of the most badass speeches of World War II. "Gentlemen, I am 25 years old and I have killed 309 fascist occupants by now. Don't you think, gentlemen, that you have been hiding behind my back for too long?" The crowd went silent, then exploded into a standing ovation. She spoke about gender equality, about the lack of racial segregation in the Red Army, about the need for a second front now, and she became best friends with Eleanor Roosevelt, a friendship that would last for life. When Lyudmila returned to the Soviet Union, she was promoted to Major and awarded Hero of the Soviet Union, the country's highest military honor. She spent the rest of the war training snipers. After 1945, she finished her degree at Kiev University and became a historian, the career she'd always wanted. In 1957, Eleanor Roosevelt visited Moscow and insisted on seeing her old friend. Despite Soviet minders watching them, the two women snuck away to reminisce about their time in America. But Lyudmila never escaped the war. She suffered from PTSD, depression, and alcoholism for years. The memories of Sevastopol, of friends dying next to her, of 309 lives taken they never left. On October 10, 1974, Lyudmila Pavlichenko died of a stroke. She was 58 years old. 2 Soviet postage stamps were issued in her honor, one in 1943 during the war, another in 1976 after her death. Today, she's remembered as the deadliest female sniper in history, one of the greatest snipers of any gender. But here's what matters most. Lyudmila Pavlichenko heard women can't do that and proved them wrong. She walked into a recruitment office and demanded to fight. She spent 8 months in hell and came out a legend. The Germans called her the Russian bitch from hell. The Soviets called her Lady Death. But Lyudmila Pavlichenko called herself a soldier, a historian, a woman who did what needed to be done. 309 confirmed kills, but that's just a number. The real story is about a 24-year-old woman who refused to be a nurse, picked up a rifle, and changed history.